off me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jose Madrigal Show, where we get 1% better every day. I'm here with Clay, Ajani, and Matt. We from CSUMB alumni. We legends there, and we met there. We had so much fun. We learned the hard way in college. So now I'm with these guys. So who want to go first? Who want to introduce themselves?
All right, well, I'm Clay. I'm from Oakland, and now I'm living out here in Seaside. Um, I work for Pebble Beach, so I work at Spyglass Golf Course. So I just be chilling at a golf course most days.
Mhm. Matt.
My name is Matt. Uh, I'm a graduate from CSU and be like them. I'm back home. I'm from Calexico. Right now I'm doing in the process of becoming a PE teacher. So right now I'm doing my student teaching where I'm more involved with the kids. And yeah, that's what I'm up to.
The legend himself, Johnny.
What's going on, y'all? Johnny Joseph. I'm from Pasadena. I'm back in Pasadena and I'm working retail, working at TJ Maxx.
Mm. Okay, I got
Oh,
my first
battles.
question. So how y'all want to do it? Like, my first question is like, you want to go first, whoever speaks first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of life from your perspective? Why are we here on Earth?
Dang.
Yeah.
Are we just a grain of sand in the universe, or are we here for a bigger purpose? Like,
Mhm.
I'll go. I'll go. I'll go.
no
I
man.
think I think it's pretty um crazy how like how you said it's like we're little small like our respects to us. I think we kind of are. We're like this little small thing, but everybody comes together and we make this whole big image, which is life, like sometimes you have like you guys are small bits of my life, that I met my 4 years at college and now it's part of my life. You guys might have been bits of sand, but little by little it's clumping up together and it's forming my life, and the same thing for you guys. Maybe you have your family, your friends, and then people you just randomly meet, and I think it's just like one big image of little things coming together, you know.
Hmm.
Man. I gotta say I agree with you, Matt. I think yeah, life is definitely crazy. Like you definitely have your ups and downs. Um, and like, you meet people along the way and that's either for better or for worse. And quite frankly, I think we're always doing the best we can, and that's all you really can do, like, because it's like I was listening to one of your old like podcasts or maybe your shorts, but you were talking about like, living in the past and like, worrying about the future. So I think as we're going, we need to just stay present in this moment, only control what we can and, live and learn and grow. You're gonna make mistakes. But it's just how you carry yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the meaning of life is just, on the way you're gonna make mistakes. Not everyone's perfect. I can say pretty much everyone in this call right now has probably made a mistake in their life that they regret, but sometimes in life you're gonna make those mistakes. You just have to keep pushing forward and keep striving for greatness. So,
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, going back to Clay's, like, we really don't know what's gonna happen in the future, so it's all about your reaction to things. Things are gonna happen. Like that's why when you're young, is like you hear the adults is like, oh, it's something new. It's always something. Something's
Yeah.
always happening, and that's how you know. Like once you get an adult, you got responsibilities. It's like there's always gonna be something, bruh. Always gonna be something. So it's just about how you react, and like every time you something happens, you just gotta learn from it. Try to make the best decision that you can, and move on.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Like it's like I being not being so reactive is definitely something I'm for sure working on because it is how you react to things. It dictates like the outcome for sure. Like, you can make a quick decision while you're upset and that can ruin something or make it worse. Or, you take a moment, think about it, and then, calm your nerves and um go at a different route. But like I said, that's something I mean, all of us really still need to work on is, but I'm just speaking for me personally, is just definitely not being so reactive and, taking that few minutes to actually like think and, um, like I said, think about it. Cause yeah, definitely being like if you're super reactive on something very negative, for sure will make it worse and it's not going to help anybody or anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, Clay. I think if you're reacting to something in the moment and you think about it, let's say a few hours later, like, damn, bro, I don't think I wanted to make this decision, you know? Sometimes you have to wait, take a few steps and be like, is this something I really want to do? Is this something I really want to change in my life? Because one mistake, one thing that you regret early will be going on strange for probably the rest of your life, something you don't want to do. So it's always good to take a few seconds to think. Don't make this decision based off how you feel in the moment, but how you would feel after when you feel calm and you're all good to go.
Mhm.
No, and I think out of all three of us, I think AJ's like the one that's probably like the best at doing that. Because usually me and Clay would say something, and John would always be the guy be like, "Are you sure you really want to do that?" Like that doesn't sound like the smartest idea. He'll
Mhm.
always be the guy that's like the most level headed out of all of us.
I mean, not when we was beefing with the neighbors.
That was probably the one time he slipped up, but other than that, it was usually like what was it? Usually the times when I think we learned our lesson when it was when we were going to
Mm,
Target and we had to walk. We walked with waters in our hands that whole walk from Target
mhm.
to MB. And Johnny was like, "Do we really want to do that again?" We're like, "Nah, we need water though. Like, who cares?" And Johnny thought, "Nah, let's just call someone. Like, let's not be stubborn, you know? Like, yeah, stuff like that."
Mhm.
Always asking for help. I'm a calm dude though, man. I don't, you feel me?
Yeah,
I don't do the,
Nonchalant.
he
yeah.
really nonchalant.
I just don't have dreads, so I'm not a nonchalant dreadhead, but I'm just nonchalant. Bald right now. I gotta keep this on.
What's under the beanie?
Oh, I'm bald. That's why. I can't. I'm
Hmm?
bald. Yeah. I have no hair right now.
Bro, let's see, bro. Let's see the waves, bro. I know you got something, bro.
No, I don't got nothing under here, big
You
bro.
gonna show the wrinkles
I
like
don't
that.
got nothing under here, big bro.
Show the wrinkles.
I'm not I'm not doing this with y'all right now.
He preparing for Turkey.
I'm definitely going to Turkey 2028, bro.
2028.
My shit is bad, nigga. My shit receding.
It happens, bro. I'm starting that process too, bro.
I know, me too. Dude,
Oh
these kids got me, bro. These kids are getting to me, man.
man.
These
You
kids
started
stressing
it,
me.
bro.
That's why that nigga Clay left. He was sick of them kids. He was
Nah,
sick of them kids. Them kids was
these
pissing him
kids, no,
off.
these kids are wild now, bro. Like they be doing the most absurd stuff. I'm just like,
Hmm.
I wouldn't even thought of doing that. Like when Clay would tell me, I'm like, there's no way, there's no way. And
Yeah,
and then I got into the class. I'm like, oh, he was not playing. These kids really just different. They different from when we were kids. Like
yeah.
they
Like
get
for the record, I was teaching kindergarten math, so dealing with a lot of 5-year-olds, and I just remember like this one kid. He'd be like, "What's up, nigga?" Like I was like, "What did you say?" Like I was like, "What?" Because I was like, I didn't, okay, like I was just caught off guard. Like I wasn't like I was laughing a little bit. Like it was bad. Like I probably shouldn't have been laughing, but I
He's
I
bugging.
promise.
He's getting sent to the office. He's bugging.
nah. He's got no what is it NDA? He no longer part of the district, so he can let it go. He can let it rip.
I don't no, honestly, bro, that my school was definitely hella really dysfunctional and like it was a lot of people were leaving and it was very sad because like the kids like they when I told them I was leaving they were kids were crying. It made me feel really emotional because that shows like even though when I felt like I wasn't doing a good job to them like I was, so that it was definitely a hard decision to leave, but that's why Matt, I commend you. Like I know it's hard to do what you're doing, and I appreciate the fact that you're sticking with it because it's teaching is definitely one of the hardest professions for sure.
Yeah, shout out to you, bro, because nigga, I couldn't teach no kids.
Nah, sometimes they do test me. They do test me, but I learned. I'm like, all right, I gotta keep my cool. I gotta, cause PE is definitely different because PE, like I
Uh,
like to be involved. So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think I told AJ about this. So y'all know I used to post TikToks and whatever.
Oh yeah,
So
you.
then I talked about my first day doing my student teaching. And I talked about my first day where the kids told me let's go play basketball. And they said because they were talking because they've heard about me. I went to that same school, and they're like, "Oh, we want to see how good you are. Let's play." I said, "All right, fine, but I'm not gonna do nothing crazy." So I'm playing, I'm chilling. All of a sudden, this kid like checks me, like I go up for a layup and he hits me in the air. I'm like, "Hey, chill out! Like we're just playing, we're just doing all this, you know." And all of a sudden, they all start ganging up on me. I'll go for a layup. Dang, swat! They would hit me. And I'm just like, I'm done. I'm not playing no more, guys. Like, if y'all just gonna keep following me, I'm done. So I talked about it on my TikTok. And like, I gave like a reference. Where I was like, oh, I felt like prime Michael Jordan when he played Detroit Pistons. He was getting smacked, all that, right? Maybe like a month passes, and kids start coming up to me. They're like, "Hey, so you feel like prime Michael Jordan?" And I look at them like, "What are you talking about?" And they show me the video, and it's all these kids screenshotting my video. Taking a picture, and it started getting out of hand. Kids started screenshotting it, changing the words. I was like, "Oh no, this is getting out of hand now." So I told AJ like I had to make everything private, delete it, because I'm like, nah, I just can't have these kids messing around with my image.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then you still had some of the good kids that were like, "Oh, we know that's not what you said. You said this, this, and this about us. That we were messing around." But then kids started changing the words, with AI and stuff. So I was like, I got. And they're like, "Oh, but I had some kids like, no, you should keep posting them like they're funny." And I was like, "Yeah, but there's some kids that kind of mess around with it. They
Mm-hmm.
ruin it for you guys." And they're like, "Oh, would you ever do it again?" I was like, "Well, I have to wait and see, but probably not, because I'm telling you, this technology now, you can change a whole lot of stuff."
They
Mhm.
they need to mess around with them books and stop worrying about you, bro. Because I know
They
they not
no,
doing
Some
good.
they
little
they they
kids,
they they don't
bro.
have no books. Everything's on computer. Everything's on computer. They're always on their phones, always doing everything.
Mm. Worrying about the wrong thing.
They really worry about the wrong. I told them that I had a kid come up to me. I don't know what he said. I said you should worry about your grades other than me, because kids bombing everything.
Damn. But it's crazy too, bro, because like back in our day, bro, we would think about Pokemon cards, the DS, Game Boy,
Yeah,
the Wii, and now they have the internet. They think about the most like the things I think about, they shouldn't even be thinking about at their age, bro.
no,
They're exposed, like they're like you know how we talk about the innocence of a child, right? Their innocence is like removed, bro, because of this TikTok, the social media. It makes them think negatively, starting when they're young.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom also works at preschool. She's telling me that these three-year olds, 4 year olds already know how kids are made, how like they reproduce, and that like just blows my mind, bro. Like
that's quick preschool.
kids come and just start cursing everybody out, cursing everybody.
Yeah,
It's crazy, man.
It
it's a
also has a lot
whole.
to do with like the parents and like allowing them to have that time to, because like I get it, like when you're tired after work, it's just easy to hand your kid an iPad or put them in front of a TV.
Hmm.
But like
Hmm.
when you're so young, like those are really like the most important years of like developing your brain. Um, I mean, so I read, I don't know, but I just think that time is when you're most um like you're taught or like
You're like a sponge.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
I
exactly. You're a sponge. Yep.
I had
Yep.
seen something about that where in Japan, that from like age like kinder all the way to like second grade to like 10, they don't do any like schoolwork like math. They focus on like mannerism, being respectful, stuff like that, like stuff that you don't do in your schools here,
Mhm.
It's very
Mhm.
different. And I don't know if that's like a thing that can like it's a cultural thing, more like here. We focus more on academics and like life stuff.
Mhm. No, yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, I know I'm a little bit older than you guys, but we had like we didn't have a cooking class. Like my mom was telling me like when she was in school, like they had a cooking class. Like and my dad had a wood shop. Like growing up, we like so I feel like they're not giving us the skills to survive on our own. They're just teaching us how, in my opinion, just to be good, be workers. Like that's just how I feel. Like I feel like school is just to produce employees. Like yeah, there are a few who, go out and succeed. Going to college, it does give you more opportunities and stuff. But like I feel like it really just school isn't designed to see us succeed. It's just to have us be workers and make someone else money. But that's just how I feel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the way you see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so important too, like when they're little kids, bro, because little kids, bro, they see everything. They're observant, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
notice
Very.
everything, you know. So the way I like to think about it is when you're a little kid and you're in their house, it's like monkey see, monkey do.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And they gonna
Mhm.
see everything. So what they see in their household, they're gonna see as normal. So
Mhm.
like let's say they just see they go to their household and they're on their iPad and they start seeing all these crazy things, they're gonna think that that's the reality. So that's why you get these kids knowing all these different things and like the when you gotta be able to to figure out a way to create systems in these kids, bruh. Like, like give them plant the seeds early to make them think better. But
Mhm.
when, like how you're saying, Clay, like nowadays people work too much that they get home tired, they don't want to cook, put on a little pizza, put the kid on the iPad and they just chill, watch a movie. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
hard, like it's hard. And you're experiencing that, Clay, because you stepped up to responsibility, which is
Mhm.
heck of hard. I'm
Mhm.
not even there yet, but doing what
Yeah.
you're doing, Clay, is you a real one, in my opinion.
No, for
I
Nah,
appreciate
yeah.
it. It has its moments for sure. But like as we kind of talked about, like, I'm trying to be present in the moment and not worry about what could have been or how things could be or going to be, I would say. Um, but like I said, this I obviously we also have a lot to learn and just try and go day by day. Like so you can really like you said, 1% better each day if you can do that. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's like ultimately the best way we can impact the youth is by ourselves. If we
Mm-hmm.
try to be better by ourselves, like the only
Mm-hmm.
person we can really change is ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
But we can't force nobody else to think differently, but we could change ourselves, and through that, they could see the light and be like, "Oh, that person, they see it like this, so maybe I could try to be like that, ask a question or something." So, like changing yourself, and like Matt, you teach her, so you know the way you present yourself, the kid's gonna look up to that.
Yeah. I think also like for like not mostly like little kids, but mostly like your high schoolers and middle schoolers, them seeing you or admit, because when they see us, they think, oh, they've been perfect their whole lives. They've never messed up. They've never done this, but sometimes we have to admit to them, like, hey, don't worry. Like, we've been in your shoes. Like, we've all made the same mistakes. We were in high school once. Like, you can still also grow as a person. The way you see us, how we are, we grew from what we were when we were in high school. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys are not the same person you guys were in middle school and high school. Like, completely different, probably.
Mhm.
Nah, I wasn't. Nah.
Nah,
2019? Nah. 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 But nah.
Hey,
Kid?
what's one thing y'all learned in college?
Mm.
Like that's
Uh,
one thing that made you like be like, damn, like y'all realize that you're like, damn.
networking and like who you know. I think it doesn't and like how likable you are, like especially when it comes to work. Like I feel like in college, like I mean, CSUMB, like I would say for sure is, a smaller classroom. So like for sure, like the professors knew who I was and like I was able to talk to them and stuff and have like a relationship. And like I said, they knew who, like it wasn't just a name and a grade. Like they actually knew who I was and like what, like, like when it came to like little things like asking for help and stuff. Cause like I feel like there were some times like if I didn't know who my professor was, like I probably would not have passed the class. Like, so I feel like networking and who you know and like how likable you are probably the biggest like my biggest takeaways from college.
Mhm.
I would say for me, group projects, finding the right people to work with, because some people are just crazy, but some people you can make it work with. So, like group projects, and I think just knowing your teachers and networking, I feel like if you know the right people, you'll be in the right position in the future. So, just being able to connect with the teachers, just asking questions and ask for help when you need it in general. I feel like a lot of people are scared to ask for help these days because they don't want to be judged or something like that.
Mhm.
So I feel like always asking for help is the most important thing you can do.
Mhm.
I think for me, it was being a lot more open of accepting people. It doesn't matter if they were like bad people, like people like other people didn't like him, you know. I didn't want to judge people. Like if I didn't, because my first year, I was always hanging out with my roommate because that's the only person I knew. That's the person I met. We just came from COVID. You know, I didn't really know what much about the campus. And little by little, I started meeting people. I started talking to them a little bit. Met AJ, and then through AJ, I met Clay. Then I met you, and I met T. And then just from there, it just kept growing and growing. And I have a bunch of people I know. And like Clay says, with networking, I know all those people now from college, and I know them, someone that can do this, someone that's another teacher. Maybe they have job openings. Maybe person that fixes cars. You know, just growing from being so open now. 'Cause before in high school, I had friends, but it was mostly through sports, um, and like class, but not someone like I just met, you know, randomly and became good friends. And like you three, you know, I just met on the fly, and you know we've grown, known each other. AJ was my roommate for 3 years. Felt like we were brothers almost. Clay too. So yeah, that's probably something I learned.
Shout out T, man.
Yeah, T really put us on with everybody though.
Yeah, shout out T, man.
Yeah, one thing that I learned from me is that like everybody got their own perspective. Like everybody got their own perspective. Like if you go one time it hit me, I was in Target and I was just walking and I was thinking, right? And I was like, damn, everybody else has a little voice in their head too. Be like, what the heck? And some of the voices are so deep, or some of the voices are just so like surface. And I was like, damn, like are people really like people are smarter than me. And once I realized that there's people smarter than you, bro, like it makes you really be like, damn, I don't know anything. Or I don't know a lot. So like sometimes you gotta be quiet to learn more.
Oh yeah.
So that's one thing that I learned in college is that there's smarter people than you everywhere you go. And you know, my father always told me is like the best thing you could be in life is learning. The best thing you could be at in life is learning because everybody's good at one thing. But if you, the best thing that you could do is be a good learner, you can learn everything. And I was like, damn. And he said, he's like, if they can do it, why can't you? If they bleed just like you, if they sweat just like you, if they do number one, they do number two just like you, why can't you do it too? And when you do that, it gives you the ultimate confidence to do anything. That's what I learned in college.
That's a good one. You don't want to be like what AJ said, the one trick pony.
Yeah, you don't
You just
want
know
to.
one. You know one thing. That's all you know.
What do you mean, AJ? One trick pony. Where'd that come from?
Um, Shout out my high school basketball coach. I only averaged 2 points, but you feel me? I wasn't that good, but
A
shout out.
hardball?
One time we were at practice and this one of our teammates, he just all he knew how to do was shoot threes. He didn't know how to get to the basket. He didn't know how to do anything else. And our coach called him a one-trick pony, and it was just like it stuck to me. I was like, damn, I don't want to be like let's not talk about basketball. I wasn't good at that. Who cares, right? Let's talk about life. I wasn't good at that. I don't want to be the person who only has like who can only do one thing. I want to be able to do multiple things, 1,000 things. I want to be good at this. I want to be good at that. I feel like if you're just limiting yourself to one thing, how are you going to be able to grow in other things? I
Hmm.
think it's not good to focus on that one aspect of your life. Focus on 1,000 aspects in your life. Let's say, for example, you're big, you want to become skinny. Go to the gym, do some cardio, go work out, lift. If you want to go get more extra steps in a day, go for a walk, do extra things. Just doing more things, adding more little things to your life will expand the horizon of your life and make your life become better. I think that's how I see why not being a one-trick pony is better for you.
Hmm. You look like you thinking, Clay, what you thinking of? I gotta do dishes. I
Well,
gotta clean the fucking.
well,
I gotta do this.
no,
He getting in
nah,
trouble.
nah,
Clay better do
nah.
this, this, and this.
I was thinking like. when you was talking about, going to the gym and when you're going like doing all that, like pushing and growing stuff, like I feel like another thing that people struggle with is like playing the victim. Like, oh, why is this happening to me? I can't do this, I can't do that. And it just makes it a thousand times more harder. So like I think like you said, not focusing on just that one thing and expanding your horizon and you got all these other things to overlook that one thing that's probably not going your way can help out a lot. Like I'm being like that's like something I'm still working on, not just to focus on that one negative thing. Like you in reality, we all have a lot to be grateful for. Like even like the base, like we're all able to see, talk, we're able to
Yeah.
eat when we want to eat. Like I know there's a lot of stuff going on in this world. Um, so just not taking the little things for granted. And like I said a little earlier, stop playing the victim. Okay, you're a little weight, all right, let's hit the gym. Like I know it can be intimidating going to the gym and seeing all the people, and especially with like all the influencers and stuff. But as long as you feel confident in yourself, that's all that really matters.
I think I seen Chepa talk about that on one of his shorts where it was uh like taking things for granted, and you were talking about like you don't know if you're gonna wake up tomorrow. Like you can go to sleep and you just don't know. Like it could be your last breath, or you wake up the next day and you're blessed still, you know? I think that's
Hmm.
something I always think about. Like or like how
That's
Clay says, you can't think of like you can think you have something bad, but there's always someone that has something worse than you. Like you don't know. Like you always think, oh, these people have it better than me. Remember, there's someone above you, there's also someone below you.
Hmm.
It's like you're living somebody's dream life right now,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And like right now, the way I thought about it is like this is my starter pack. Like I have even just having arms, being able to see, smell, breathe,
Yeah.
whatever. Like bro, like just having that starter pack in life, bro, you already won, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like this is why I love being in Monterey because like I can step out the door and I can see the ocean. I go walk my dog up the hill, I see the ocean and like when I want to go take her to the beach, I just take her down to Carmel. That's a 10-minute drive. Pebble Beach, like I like where I go to work, it's a global destination. Like there's people coming in from all over the world to come stay at the resort, and spend money and get the California living and like the fact that we're here and like we're experiencing it is like that's something I gotta keep working on is not taking that for granted like not
Yeah.
focusing on such the stuff
yeah.
that isn't going my way like bro you're in Monterey California like ocean's right there's beautiful scenery you can like it's just a whole bunch of stuff to be grateful for and just like it's just sometimes it's hard not to. So, you just gotta focus on what you can control and, you know.
Some people take it for granted, you know. Back
Mhm.
to what you were saying, I think there's people who are our age who are dying who can't even walk. So I every day I think about just do it tired, do whatever you can do, no matter what the circumstances. Do it
Mhm.
sad, do it tired, do whatever you can. Just go out and do it because there's someone who is t in their 20s in our age group who can't do it because they just can't.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
can't move. They can't do anything. So I just think about it every day. That's the reason why I get up every day and I think like, wow, I'm happy to be alive and I'm happy to be here because I could
Yeah.
die right now and it's just like, damn, I'm gone. Like I
Hmm.
didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's a
That-
it's a reality. Like I'm not gonna say I was super close with this guy that I knew, but he was it's not fun, but he was the first person I smoked weed with. Like, I remember that day. Like he was like, "Hey, you wanna go smoking?" I'm like, "All right, let's go smoking." And I just like ate great. And like I come to find out through another friend that he died and he was, my age or our age. And so, like you said, just stop taking things for granted because one day you won't be here. So it's crazy, really. Like one day you're here, and the next like you could be just not. So
I'm
yeah.
Yeah.
saying you can be gone, say you can be gone in the next 10 minutes.
Hmm.
You know,
After the Zoom, you don't
that's what I'm
know.
saying. Nothing, you don't know what's gonna happen. That's why I think it's good to know that every day that you're waking up is just a blessing from God Himself and everything He
Hmm.
does for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because without Him, there's no us, you know? We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. He gave us the platform and we're just here trying to push ourselves and work as hard every day. I think that's why for me every day I get up and I try to go to the gym because I think I remember I was like two something. I was like, damn, bro, I'm large. Like I just can't do this. And I was just like, I lost 30 pounds and I was just happy. I was like, damn, bro, I can move again and just like doing stuff and just being happy, you know. I felt like every day someone can't do what we're doing. At least we're at least doing it every day. So just working hard and continuing is just the most important thing in life.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that was my problem when I was younger because like Clay's talking about he lives in Monterey or Seaside and he's taking it in like dang I can be anywhere in the world right now but I'm here and like I remember when I was younger I always said like I don't like where I'm from it's boring live by the border a lot of weird stuff happens like I'm 2 hours away from San Diego I'm like why couldn't I live there why can't I go to school there it's nice you have the beach everything and then now that I'm teaching, I see the kids that walk in, and I'm thinking like, dang, I could have been how they were. They cross the border from Mex and they come here. They wake. I ask them like, hey, what time do you guys wake up to walk to get here? And I have a student. He wakes up at 4 in the morning, so he can cross and take his sister to elementary, and he still has to walk across all the way town to get back to the high school. And I'm thinking, dang, I like in my head, I thought, man, I was born in a bum town, nothing. But I was
School
lucky
start.
for what?
What time does school start?
At 8, but there's a line. You got to cross the line because there's
Yeah.
also other kids going there. You know, it takes like about 2 hours to cross the line. And like in my head, I could have think, dang, I missed it by just couple miles to just be on the other
Mhm.
side of the border, and I had to live that lifestyle. You know, crossing the school, doing all that, and I applaud those kids. You know, like it's tough doing that, waking up early, doing all that stuff, and you know, like a guy Cheppy here. I remember I would wake up early in the morning, go to class, or have to go to work. He was probably up what like an hour before us. You're doing your job, like stuff like that, like it's insane. Like those people that work so hard and just do that, you know, athletes and then athletes do it too, you know. Like so like, I can't take stuff like that for granted, you know, where I was able to live right by the school and wake up at what 7:50 and get there on time. And these kids are walking 3 hours, you know.
Hmm. That's crazy, man. And going back to like what Johnny was saying is like do it when you're tired, do it like Nike, just do it. And it's like right now, besides Clay, that he's already like a dad.
Yeah.
But us, like we don't really have a lot of responsibility. But once we become like the head of our family, like the father of our kids, we're gonna have to do whatever it takes for our kids to
Yeah.
have the needs that they want. And some days you're gonna feel sad, some days you're gonna feel happy, but you gotta get up and work. You gotta
Yeah.
get up and be an example for your kids, and it's not easy. And Clay is looking at that. It's not easy, man. How's that, Clay? Like getting up and no matter how you feel, you gotta try to be the best dad that you could be.
Yeah, like I said, it can be challenging for sure. Like I'm still dealing with a lot of stuff as well.
Hmm.
Um, but honestly, just to be a good role model is all I can really do and do the best I can. Like I said, I have a lot of flaws, like I said, I'm still growing, but like knowing that I'm doing something that, could benefit someone and help them grow is definitely worth it. And just like it's like it's hard. Like it's not easy. Like nothing's easy. But there are times when I'm like yeah, I'm doing a good job. I really feel like I'm helping, and there's other times like damn, I'm terrible. But it honestly isn't the case because um it from so far only positive things have come from it. So
Hmm.
it's really just me and how I interpret it, but because like I can feel like I'm doing the worst, but to him, to Den, it's like I'm like doing an amazing job. I'm there for him. So um that's all I can really do and just being consistent with it.
Hmm.
So you feel like as if as long as the kid feels like you're doing a great job, you're not content, but you're okay with it. Correct.
In
You
a
would.
sense, yeah. Like I I'm happy knowing that, but also like I know I still want to do a lot. Like I've been applying to master programs. Like I'm trying to further my education in that regard. Like like regardless, I'm starting online school. I'm starting an online master's degree in the summertime. Like I've already heard back from a few schools, so I'm just waiting to hear back from a few more, and then I'm gonna decide. And then like I said, I still want to grow. Like I like Pebble Beach. Like right now, I'm low. Like I'm not making a ton of money. I'm not making as much as I was when I was as a teacher. But like the cool thing is about Pebble is like, there's room for growth. Like there's room for promotions, and um, that's what I want. Like my goal is to eventually be like, a head pro of a golf course or like a director of golf, like one of those, management type positions. But I gotta start somewhere. So right now I'm just like a retail associate like you, AJ. Like I just do inventory on the clothes. I fold like very, very like you didn't need to go to college for. But like I gotta gain the experience and then like I said, I'm gonna get my master's and then work my way up and then, and hopefully I'll be where I want to be. But that's that's really my goal right now is to just focus on golf, my golf game and grow within the company and complete my master's and then I feel like I could be very happy. Like I'm happy. Like I'm not saying I'm not happy. But there's still a lot of room for growth for sure.
I
Mhm.
feel that. I mean, we both do the same thing. I go in, sometimes I kind of just go in the break room, clock in, don't say much, and just go to work. And then whenever it's time to go home, we go home. But,
Yeah.
my managers think of me as a guy like, why don't I speak too much? Because it's just like, I'm just trying to put my head down and focus. Because, I mean, there's no offense to them. They've been there a while. Shout out them. But I don't want to be there forever. So I want
Yeah.
to try to make a better impact for my life. That's why I'm also going back to school to get my master's. So
Hmm.
I think I can do more for myself and put myself in a better position with having my master's than without it. So that's
Hmm.
why I made the decision a few weeks ago to go back because I thought about it like this. I would never know if I didn't do it. So I'm going to go do it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
If
Hmm.
I just sat there and be like, oh, I'm going to just be at TJ Maxx, I'm going to be there for 15 years, still going to be doing God knows what.
Mhm.
Won't be a department head, won't be a coordinator, won't be a manager. I want to go back and try to make something shake. Let's just say
Hmm.
that. I want to change my life, because
Hmm.
I don't want to be shout out my mom and my dad. They let me live here free of charge. I mean, I pay for a few things in and there, like, but shout out my dad, shout out my mom, but I don't want to be here forever. I want to grow. And I think getting a master's will help me get the job I want for me to grow and do all the stuff I want to do. I mean, I've already lived on my own. I lived in Monterey by myself for 3 years. Bro, if I
Hmm.
was dying and I need to go to the hospital, I was in the next Uber to the hospital down the block. If I
5 in the
was
morning.
dying, they know those two, they know what happened back in November. I was dying.
November.
No, I was dying.
Oh
No, he was
man.
not. Bro was dying for like 4 weeks.
I was out of class for like a month and a
Oh man, bro. The niggas had the vid. Nah.
half.
Now, but really quick, I don't mean to cut nobody off, but the one thing I forgot to mention about Pebble Beach, like, I talked about earlier, like, it being a global destination. So we have an ATM in our pro shop, and sometimes they be leaving their receipts in, and I'll be throwing them away, and sometimes I'll be looking, and like sometimes they show like how much is in the account, and like I've seen like, 40, 50, and so far the largest amount I saw was like 300,000 in their checking account. And I'm like, man, like that's some people got it like that. Like it's like, and unfortunately we don't, and we're gonna have to, grow and make something of ourselves to reach that point where we can go do something and have 200,000 or $100,000 in a checking account. Um, but like I said, Pebble Beach is like definitely a $1 billion company. Like looking like for like I mean I can't really I don't know if I can link this or not, but I'm gonna just say it. So our retail for what we made of the month of so far of the month of January, February, March, like our goal was 2.5 million. And so when I looked like it was mid March, we was at 1.8. So like and then for golf, we'll make like 80,000 a day for golf. So like unfortunately, we don't have that opportunities to make that kind of money right now, but as long as we're trying and thriving, we'll eventually get there for sure.
You know what would make what is what I do? Like, let's say I work at In-N-Out or I work at the trash job. I'll just try
Hmm.
to see how the business works.
Hmm.
Like entertain myself like that. Be like, how the heck do these guys get this much money? Of course, because they have the destination, the touristic destination. But like, be like, okay, like they have this here, they have that here. How does that business run? How does this business work? And like, you could kind of entertain yourself, bro, and be like, damn, like if I was like this, I'll do it like that. If I was like this,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh,
And like like you said earlier, like listening, like I be listening because like the head pro, Patrick, shout out Patrick. He's a, cool, older, obviously, I'm the only person of color, like all like I'm not
I
trying to be
feel
cool.
that.
Like all the Mexicans, like they do like the garden, like the maintenance and the cooking and shit, which is and like house cleaning, and it's fucked up. But and like we have a few like people of supervisors, but everyone else, like all the head people, all white, like all white. Everyone's white. So, and I'm the only black person, like in that within like Spyglass, like on that golf course. Like there's black people in the company, obviously, but like just listening to what they have to say and like hearing them talk and talk about money and like how you said like how everything is run. It's very interesting to hear that because like Patrick, he's been there for like 25 years and he was in the same position I was. He started at the bottom and then he worked his way up. So it's like being consistent and listening and learning and you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. I feel like for me, when I first started at TJ Maxx, like there's no one of color there at all either. It's
Hmm.
just me. There's like the Mexicans and the Armenians on the block, but it's just me. So it's like I walk around, it's just like this is really weird. Like there's no one like there's just like no one like
Yeah.
dog. Did I get hired for like diversity reasons? Like I think about that in the back of the head, but like I was like, nah. Shout out the manager, Joseph. He's a cool dude. He's a cool
Hmm.
dude. Solid guy. I don't know.
Hmm.
People say bad things about him. I don't think he's a bad guy at all. I was when I first graduated, I was at home for 6 months not doing anything. And he gave me a chance. So, I appreciate that. I felt like no one was giving me that fair chance. I just wanted to start somewhere, and he gave me that opportunity to start, and I'm still there and just working
Hmm.
every still, I can change my life and get something better for myself. So
Hmm.
shout out him.
Hmm.
I think that's pretty interesting how like, you know, how Clay talks about he started as a teacher and then well Kyle wasn't your first job, right? What was your first job like you ever did?
Like, um, like in college or like just in general?
Just in general.
Oh, UPS. I was at the warehouse.
Yes. Like I remember something my dad always told me is like you're never gonna just be directly at the top, you know?
Hmm.
Like people like us, like unless you're rich, like one of the top 1%, like y'all, you're gonna be automatically top, but everyone starts somewhere, you know? And for me, it was working at a recreation and then girls basketball practice player. I didn't get paid, but it was like
It
something I
was
had to
fun
do.
though.
It
Yeah,
Yeah.
was fun.
And
that
and
was fun. Those are good
I,
days.
and people always go to my dad and ask like, "Oh, like how did you get paid this much?" Like, "Oh, you always do all this." And he's like, "Well, like it's because you gotta work hard, you gotta sacrifice stuff, everything's not gonna just be given to you." And they tell him like, "Oh, so is this how you started?" He's like, "No, I started." He started off working at Toys R Us. He was the guy that cleaned the toilets. He would clean the attic, stuff like that. But now he's a teacher that gets paid a lot of money. And I think I always try to go at something like that. Like I don't want to take things for granted. If someone says, "Hey, do you want to work this, this, and this?" But it's only this, you're gonna be cleaning toilets, you're gonna be doing this. And I think, well, I mean, who am I to say no? I'm above that. And I think we've all had a job like that. A John working TJ Maxx, Clay, UPS, Chepe. You're picking up trash. Mine was I think when I was in high school, I started cleaning. Like I volunteered to go clean stuff like for restaurants. That's what I did. And that was stuff I to try to grow and get my name out there. To get a job application and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I think that's something like out of college. I think we all kind of struggled with trying to find what we want to do after now,
Mhm.
and like trying to see like, oh, what are we gonna do? And like a Johnny, he's taking the step of I don't want to be here my whole life. Like I want to keep pursuing. And I think that kids graduating college shouldn't get discouraged by not finding jobs, you know? Like it's very discouraging when you don't find anything.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. I think I applied to over like 400 places on Indeed, probably give or take. Didn't hear nothing back. And then I was just like, my mom was just like, you should just apply retail. And then
Hmm.
I was thinking of doing the operations at is it Caltech by my house? Yeah, I was going to do operations Caltech, basically what I was doing in Monterey with recreation, but a little different. But then And then I had just got hired at TJ Maxx, and I was just like, I'm gonna just stay with this TJ Maxx thing. And plus, the TJ Maxx thing was paying good because it was the holidays. So I was working from 3 to midnight, and then I would come in the next day at like 7 a.m. I was just working at like all the time. I was just like, okay, this is cool. But then it slowed down. My hours are cut in half. So I've been off. I was off to yesterday. I'm off today, but I go back tomorrow. So, it is
Hmm.
what it is. Things happen. It's all just a process, life is just a process.
Hmm.
Can't sit there and just be like, oh, like, why is he not giving me more hours? It's just an oh well type of thing. It's just got to keep on moving forward. That's why I try to find things to do.
Yeah. It was bad in the summer for us.
Yeah,
Like
we
we
was
was
playing.
on- like we was on the game like what, like 10 hours?
Yeah, we
What
was on the
the
game
heck?
like
Yeah,
10.
because we had nothing to do. Like no job, nothing.
Yeah, we
No,
was on
it's
the game for
crazy.
at least like 10 to 11 hours each day in the summer.
Hmm.
Hey, the job market is crazy, man. Like, I feel like the only way you get a job is through referrals, bro.
Absolutely.
That's
I
Yeah,
like,
only got that
definitely.
teaching job because I lived in the same building as the vice principal. He approached me at the gym and he's like, "Oh, you ever thought about teaching?" So yeah, it's always who you know, and like, cause that's literally how I got into teaching. And then Pebble Beach, like I had applied many months ago, and never heard anything, and it just finally hit me when they finally got back to me when I was, you know, um, right before like winter time, and I had to. It's just all about waiting because eventually it will come. You just gotta keep, just because it
It's,
is hard. It's hard for sure.
it's just a waiting game. I think
Hmm.
you're definitely right, though. I think it's easier when you know someone
Hmm.
to do the job. I don't think it's way harder if you just don't know anyone because you just gonna apply to some job at some company. You don't know nobody. No one can really put you on. But I feel like if you know someone at like a high level place, they can put you on and put you in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
I applied for because it's called Rocket Ship Charter School. So I applied there and I texted him like, hey, I just put in my he's like, all right, all right, basically like, bet I got you. And then next day, hey, can we schedule a phone interview? We heard from our VP, he knows you, da, da, da. I'm like, all right, bet, yeah. So definitely who you know, and that definitely makes things a lot easier.
hey, Clay, if you need to work somewhere, bro, I could put you on in and out, bro. Hey, they
Nah,
pay good.
no, they pay good. It's like $26 or something like
I
that,
I
right?
can't I
$26
can't
an
work
hour.
there. You can't work there
20 an hour.
if you got tattoos, no? Like
Bro,
I could.
look,
Chepe got yeah,
Yeah,
Chepe
but
all
that.
tatted.
look,
Uh,
look. I'm all
Bro,
tatted up,
you,
bro.
you can wash that off, bro. Stop playing with me.
Hey, nah,
Nah,
I just put
yeah,
like a long
You a
sleeve.
hating ass
Uh,
nigga. You can't watch that shit
Look,
all.
that's clean.
oh, okay.
I
Oh,
put this
okay.
on, and then, bro, you get to work. But the only thing, Clay, that thing gotta go.
No, I can't do it.
Oh,
I
because you
gotta
gotta wear
let
you gotta wear a hairnet, huh?
No, you
Like
gotta
you
shave
uh
it
gotta
off.
oh yeah,
uh
shave it. Now
Nah,
how wait, how is that Chepe like working fast food? Because like I know it's like very different from like other jobs, like compared to like recreation where we worked at. Like I know Clay worked fast food basically at,
hmm
at school. Like how was that?
Our
Like
kids.
Bro, I think once of course, everything is gonna be a little scary, but
yeah.
there's like In and Out so good because they got the systems already. They got you
Hmm.
the script. They give you the script, and if you follow it, you're set, bro. So,
Oh, okay.
bro, after you figure it out, the script, bro, it's easy, bro, and you just go on autopilot and just chill. Like time flies, bro, every day.
Mhm.
Just go by the script, bro. And hi, how are you? Oh yeah. Would you like onions on your burger? Oh, have a good day, bro.
That's
That's
smooth.
it.
Smooth. That's smooth.
Okay.
They
that's
they
it.
put they put you up front. You be charming the customers.
Sometimes, but not no more because I'm leveling up,
Oh, okay, okay.
Now
Okay.
I'm on the French fries, bruh. So,
Hey, okay.
now I'm trying to be the best at that one. So,
Yeah.
Mm,
You get raises every time. So I'm level one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and then there's manager four, three, two, one. Manager one makes like 300K.
oh
Dang.
You
shit.
know, and then there's like 60, the four, 70, 80, 90, and this bro bank, and then every like upgrade from one, two, three, four, five, six, seven is like a little increase.
Hmm.
Mm.
25, 50 cents. So you can make like 26 an hour, 27 an hour,
What was your start? Like, what did you start at?
23. And that's
23.
cashier, bro. That's snack. That's easy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It just gets boring, bro. But you got to think about it. Money. Hey, the money's good. Thank God I got a
Yeah.
job. You just got to fight those demons, bro. Those,
No facts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I only make 17 an hour, and that was a huge adjust. Like my budgeting, because when I was teaching, I was salary. Like I was at like 73, and now I'm making like
Yeah.
17 an hour, and like it was just a crazy. Like I get commission sometimes. Like if we hit our goal, I get commission on the last check. But like it's you just got budget and like because it was a huge adjustment. Like so, 23 don't sound bad at all. That's like that sounds nice, but.
Something real
Um,
nice. I make 1750 game.
No, the teaching pay is crazy.
hmm
Like it depends where you work at because all districts have different like
hmm
pay scales and stuff. And I know starting there's a town like maybe like 30 minutes from here. Starting like your first year, if you have your degree and a master's, you start off with 98,000. Like your first year. That's your first year. And I think if you go all the way to your last year, like the year before you retire, I think it's like 150,000. And you can go, and then that's not even like Clay. Like if he did that, and then he still wanted to coach like baseball and stuff like that, they add it to your salary, So it's like another like 8,000.
Yeah, that's I do miss teaching because of the pay. Like I didn't when I was TI, I had to worry about no bills. I was like I still had money to play with and burn.
Yeah.
Now it's like damn, niggas broke. Like niggas ain't got no money no more.
Hey, but it's all to another journey you about to do. Getting your
Yeah,
master's.
exactly. Yeah, and like I had to start somewhere, and like I said, I got to work my way up because like I think the positions I was talking about, like they probably make like 200. I think the director of golf probably makes like three.
bro, they
Um,
make they make like 3, 4, bro. It's crazy.
hmm. But gotta start somewhere and just stick with being consistent with it.
But yeah, I'm gonna end it right here. I'm just gonna stop the recording.